let's talk about one of the hardest spaces to render: rooms without any natural light, relying 100% on artificial lighting. It's everyone's nightmare. So I want to show you how to take something like this that's sad and dreary and make it look beautiful like this. Special shout out to Sam Waters for this Scene Express scene. So you can go ahead and download this from the D5 Render website if you want to follow along. Basically, any space that doesn't have natural lighting, it's always really difficult to make it seem nice and warm, have beautiful lighting. So it's something we all try to avoid. So I'm going to show you some of the tricks I use to make it a little bit easier. So you typically find these types of environments in powder rooms. They're basically like secondary bathrooms. They're usually in the center of a house. They don't have access to any windows. And that's why it's kind of difficult because of the location and everything. So what I like to do, and I'm just going to switch to this view, is once I import the model, you'll see that I drop in a section plane. And the reason I do this, let me show you without the section plane, is it gives me access to the sky. So you see how everything's dark right now and gloomy? Well, that's because like I'm in it and there's no sky. So let me turn on the environment. So I'm just going to go to custom, turn on daytime, and now I can get the lighting of the sky in here. So there we go. So that's one way you can work. You can also put like temporary lights and everything, but I don't like doing that because any temporary light is going to kind of like mess with, you know, the final lighting. So literally just grab a section plane and turn on affected by light. So right now this is just using some low emissive lights that are already placed in the scene. That way there's some lighting in here. This will give you full lighting from the outside. So that way you can do your materials and then you can add your lights. So you're basically not working in the dark, okay? So start with a section plane. So I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to talk about some of the steps this artist used to beautify this space. The first thing that's really important is actually putting the lights in the correct spots. So here we have sconces. So sconces are just light fixtures that are on the wall. We have some undercab lighting and there's some tricks we can use for the ceiling. So you want to go ahead and place spotlights, strip lights, anywhere there's some sort of fixture, okay? So if I were to do this, I'd click right here, and this is actually an up and down sconce, meaning it shoots light up and down. Well, if you didn't know, you would probably copy this and then rotate it, and then you'd have light going both ways. If you go over to IES, you can actually load up this IES number 5, and it goes up and down. So look at that. So this is going both ways. So if I were to just lower the exposure a bit, look at that. So that's an up and down light, and you can easily just play with the cone angle. See, there you go. So keep that in mind. I'm also going to just bring this back, and there we go. So now that I have that here, I can dial in the temperature. Typically powder rooms can be a little bit warmer, so I'll leave it somewhere around there. And you can see it's already making the space look, you know, orange and everything. We can fix that. That's what color balance is for and everything. And I'm going to lower the intensity. We don't want this to be too extreme. So I'm going to have it be really, really subtle. So you see that? You see that like nice fine line? Before, when I had it up here, see how it was like sharp and everything? That's not realistic. Usually light fixtures have some sort of diffuser that helps break up the light, make it softer. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. And this is one of those things you're probably going to have to return to it once all the lights are in place. So let's leave it at 10 just for now. Then there's light source radius. Going back to my point about the diffusers, this is how sharp or blurry the light or the shadow looks. So watch this. If I have it at 1, super, super sharp, looks like crap. This is called scalloping. Interior designers hate it, okay? If I bring it up to 10, it's really, really smooth. You see that? So I'm gonna, do a little in between and we'll leave it at 7. Okay, you don't want to have anything sharp. That's what gives it like the CGI look, the cartoony look. But I'm okay with this. So now that we have that, I'm just gonna copy it to the other side, hold down Shift, grab that arrow out, and now you can do the same thing right here. So now that I've got that, let's talk about the undercab lighting. These types of spaces, strip lights are gonna be your best friend. So I'm just gonna place it right here. And I'm just going to make sure that the width actually fits the undercabinet area. So you want to make sure this is the correct distance. Do it at 2000. You could have a little bit of overage, but just note you're going to have some harsh shadows there. So just to lessen that, I could do 1800. You could also scale. So if you hit V on your keyboard, you could do that. So little tricks. And then that way you don't have to type it in. Okay, so I've got that. And let's lower the intensity. Again, all these powder rooms are really about like soft ambient lighting. You don't want to go too harsh. So that's why I'm using these really, really low values, okay? So the other thing you could do for more control is this attenuation radius. So if you see this little cyan orb, that's basically how far the light is being thrown. So watch this. See how I bring this in and it's only affecting this orb? So if I bring it out this way, it'll affect that. This is going to affect the bounce lighting. So now that we have path tracing and everything, this is going to affect how far the light comes out. So pay attention to that. The other thing is you want to make your lights kind of match. This is at 6500 Kelvin. You know, I want to match to what I got going on here. It's a powder room, it's supposed to feel warm. So 4250, I'm gonna go with that, and it's already warming up. Okay. So then the next trick that I use, and this is going to vary project to project, okay? And this is also a little hack to get some light in here. So what the artist did here was they actually introduced these emissive planes right here. So there's one here, and there's one here, and there's another right over here. Let me hit P to go back into perspective. So you see that? So most bathrooms, they should have either some sort of wall sconce or ceiling lighting, right? So if you had a ceiling light, you know, go ahead and put a bunch of spotlights wherever those fixtures are. Here they have, you know, these really nice like lighting bars that are washing the walls here. Here, this is kind of faked. You don't really see this in the real world, but I like it because it's a nice size and it's giving you this soft lighting that you can wash here. And this is all achieved with just an emissive material. So let me turn it off. So you see how dark that gets? And then if I turn that on, see how light that gets? So that's what that's doing. So let me just show you with everything off. So let me turn this off. And you're going to see the difference in why people do this. So my point is, it could either have it in real life or not. But if it doesn't have it in real life and you're adding this kind of like lighting, make sure it's not extreme. And I'll get to that in a second. But you see how dark and depressing it is? And it's really just these lights that are contributing. So that's why having this little emissive guy is going to make such a big difference. And you can see the value is between 8 and 15 that's being used here. This is 5. Like that's not much at all. This is basically equivalent to your rectangular light. So this guy right here, it's the same idea, but it's a little bit easier sometimes just to, actually, I think I made the ceiling emissive. It's a little bit easier to do it in your modeling software and just make it a different material and make it emissive instead of you going in here and trying to size it. So let's pretend like this guy is in here. I'm just going to turn this off and I want to use the rectangular light. This is an easy way to just get even uniform light. And what I usually do is I just match, you know, I don't go like corner to corner. I just try and make it around the same size of the room. And once I've got that, then I play with the intensity. So I start really low. So this is a huge light. So I'll do maybe 2 and then I'll bring it up to like 5. But you could see I'm getting nice, warm, smooth lighting here, right? Like, look at that. Like that's nice and smooth. If you don't believe me, let me turn it off. I can always toggle this off. So just adding that is giving me all this light that I'm just washing the space. So again, if you didn't catch that, my point is if you have light fixtures, go ahead and put these spotlights. But I think it's also worth having this kind of rectangular plane up here to give you even more power. And it's just gonna give you a little bit more evenness, which anyone who works with interiors knows how important that is. And that's why we soften all these lights and everything. Okay, so now that we've got this here, I can do the same thing over here, okay? And one of the reasons I don't like running it all the way through walls is you're gonna get like really harsh lights around here. And that's what we're kind of getting from here, where it's basically the fall off of what's lit and what's not lit. So let me show you. If I move this over, okay, and then I just increase the intensity, it just doesn't look like super realistic. So that's why I don't like cutting it into the actual wall. So let me lower that some more. Just gonna redo that. Okay. So once all the lights are in there, I do a temperature check. So I can go over here to my emissive light. I can check the temperature here. It's just white. I could go over to temperature again, and that will help warm it up. But again, I'm introducing a lot of like warmness to the scene, which is, you know, good and bad depending on the temperature you're going for. For the larger lights, I wouldn't go, you know, super yellow, because you see how drastic that is. I think it's okay to mimic something like sunlight, like 6K, totally fine. And that way they can kind of balance each other out. But talking about balance, there's also, you know, color balance here, or white balance. And here you can easily play with how blue or warm it is. You know, you want it to feel a little bit warm, and a lot of that is going to be impacted by the material color as well as the light choices. But just to summarize, I started with the section plane. That way I can work and I can actually see what's going on, right? I toggled that on so I can get the sunlight in. Then I added lights where they belong. Don't forget that we have IES profiles that can go up and down. Then I added a strip light here, and then I added the emissive lights here. Again, that was handled with a material. So all you have to do is apply a material and just toggle on emissive, and there you go. Then if that's not enough, you can go and add these rectangular planes that should fit about the size of the room, and then just wash it down. You can also control the radius. So if you just wanted to wash the top and not the whole room, that's totally fine. That's why the tool's here. So now that I've done all that, let me just go over to lights on, and here, since I've added lights on top of lights, I'm just going to leave the lights that I've been using. So let me just make sure. So these are all the lights I have. I can tell it's already like too bright. So this is where I would go in and I would probably play with the exposure. So I'd lower that, and actually, I don't mind that. So I kind of like this moodiness here. I'd probably boost this, but this is kind of the game I'm playing at this point. I'd probably lower these lights a bit. So I'd hold control, and then I'd drop this down to 5. All your lights should be about, you know, same ballpark area in terms of values. You shouldn't have something that's like 100 and then others that are like 10, because the 100 is going to, you know, overpower that. I can already see that my rectangular light up here is adding too much. So I can just make that 1. Lower that even more. Yeah, so that looks much, much more. So now that that's all done, I can go in and I can see what it would look like with path tracing. So I'm just gonna hit accumulate, and let's make this 100, and I wanna add as many bounces as possible. And now you can see it's thinking, it's denoising, and this looks great. So very happy with that. And again, in like 10 minutes, I was able to do this. It's just one of those things that everyone seems to dread because natural lighting makes such a big difference. So I'll give you one last tip and then we'll call it a day. Another hack, which I don't really recommend, but it is useful. If you like the section plane, you could, in theory, grab it, right? And put it where you wish there was a wall. And it's kind of like cheating because you're introducing light that isn't there, but it really depends on like what is the purpose of this project, right? Are you trying to replicate something? Is this like a portfolio piece? Like what are you doing there? So now that I have this here, I could say, you know, affected by light, that way I can turn on daylight, and now I can rotate this, and now I can get some sunlight in. So that's an easy way to chop out a window, but only do this if like you're allowed to. Like if you don't, you know, if you're doing a space that obviously has no window, you know, we don't want to see any rays like this, but you could make it a super cloudy day and now you're getting some nice side lighting, which might add, you know, to some ambiance. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can grab something like cloudy 2. And now I don't have that direct light here. I'm just getting the benefit of the colors of the HDRI coming through. So if I boost this a bit, you can see it's lighting up my space as well. So something to consider. You can play with all these settings and dial it in as needed, but you don't want the light ray in there. So let's go in here and let's turn this on. You can see it's already brighter and I'm not getting those, you know, harsh sun rays. You know, sure it's here, but I can always crop that out. So you've got a couple ways. So think about all that, and I hope this helps. If you have any questions, you know, leave it in the comments below. I'll get back to you. leave a like. And if you haven't already and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. Really helps the channel out. Love the growth we've been seeing lately. It's phenomenal. So thank you guys. See you next time.